All right. Today, an old friend back on the bench here. After we've been using this one here a little bit, I've been getting some pulsing out of it. So for those of you who don't know, this is a Coleman 236 from 1951. And this is actually one of the first, it's one of the first lanterns that I bought after going down this crazy road of lantern collecting. So it was actually I actually bought it complete. The only thing it had wrong with it was the generator was not working. And at the time when I bought it, I didn't know that generators really weren't easily available. So I got one. It said it was a Coleman generator, and I don't think it really was. And I had a lot of problems with the sound of it kind of chugging. And actually, that was one of my very first videos that I put up here on this channel was the sound of that and how I fixed it. So I don't know if I can figure a way to put it. I'll put the link like somewhere where you can see it and click on it and see what I did. But you'll essentially see that when we go through it. So what was happening is that the packing that they had in the generator, if you always wonder why do they have that cardboard tube in there, well, the cardboard tube in there is to prevent the vaporizing fuel from getting shoved back down into the fount. And so this one didn't have any of that. I may actually still have the packing material that was in here. And what they used was, let's see if I've got it. Don't think I have it. This is, however, the original generator that was in it. It was kind of bent and kind of messed up, and I haven't really tried to do anything with it, but I still have it. But basically, there was, yeah, I think this was all the packing that was in there was this spring and a little bit of mesh, which is definitely not enough to do it. So what I did is that I got a cardboard tube out of a 200A, put that in there, and immediately it stopped all of the refluxing and chugging sounds, and also it stopped the light from flickering and pulsing. So right now we're back to flickering and pulsing, which is not good. It's kind of distracting when you're trying to use it. Currently, when we're going on our camping trips and stuff, I take the 236 for cooking, and then I run a run one of the 242s. I've got one around here somewhere. Anyway, you know what a 242 looks like. It's just one of these, but smaller and also quieter. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start off by taking the bail out of here, get that out of the way. Hopefully this ball nut comes off relatively easy. It should, yeah. That's the other thing too. You never really need to tighten these ball nuts down super tight because everything heats and expands and contracts, so you don't want to make things so tight and you'll just cause yourself problems. So it's just all you got to do is just snug enough to keep it from rattling. That's it. Take a look inside of here. This all looks really quite clean. There's like no carbon or anything else like that in here, you can see. So the thing's burning extremely cleanly. We're going to go ahead and set these back here. It's a little cold in the shop, so I'm having to do more cable management than normal. Let's see, what's the temp in here right now? 49. That's exciting. Usually it's not that cool in here, but at any rate, it is today. So it is a little bit cool, but that's fine. I got a nice warm flannel on here so we can stay comfortable. But yeah, you can see even now that that generator has taken a bit of a set to it. It has a little bit of a bend in there, and that's just what happens because these things run so hot. And you can tell it's been running extremely cleanly because there's absolutely no char on here whatsoever. There's just kind of like some white ash, and everything else looks in really good shape. So and then we've got some moths, some other folks that made some bad decisions. So that's one thing about these I really like is that you can do maintenance work on these without having to wreck the mantle. Get my little parts tray here. And yeah, all you got to do is just carefully lift this off, and we're not going to wreck the mantle at all. So we're going to get this off of here like this, and then just pull up, and then to the left, clear the mantle, and then this stays fine. Also put this back here so we don't hurt it. And now we're to the point to where we can take a look what's going on in here. There's a little bit of dust and crud in here. We'll just pop this off real quick because it's easy. We'll just do a little bit of cleanup while we're in here, which in this case is just kind of composed of just kind of blowing the dirt out. Make sure I got the pressure off of this. There's a little bit in there. That's loose or empty now. Let's see. I think it was a 7/16. Yes. Crack this loose. So for me, what's going to be interesting is to see, and there's plenty of fuel still up in here, is to see what the shape of that cardboard tube is like. So we're going to turn the tip cleaner up, pull it off, and let's see what we got. So this comes out. This looks really pretty clean. We're going to take this off. I'm going to take the tip off because I think we're probably going to have to push the tube out from the other end. So we'll take this out here. This all looks pretty good. I don't know if we can really see if it'll come out. This may be a little bit interesting because, well, let's see what happens. We'll see if we can't push it out from this end here. Okay, there she goes. Okay, so this is what's in there now. Is yeah, and I can see that the cardboard tube is actually has cracked in the middle and it has come apart. So this is no longer in one piece. So I guess what I could do is that I could wrap that with a little bit of aluminum foil, which probably still won't be a really good choice for it to work. So I probably just need to order a new cardboard tube, or maybe a few of them. I may actually have, let's see what we got. I have some other generators because I know that I just ordered the tube separately. So I've got one. What's this? Valve stem and ring. Nope. Burner caps for 236, 237. Nope, don't need that. Generator cardboard tube. Empty. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to just raid the cardboard tube from this 200A. And then we'll be back in operational shape. And then I just need to get a tube on order for this. So that should fix us right up. The only thing that's a bit of a bummer about this is that the kind of short lifespan of that tube, it did not last very long at all. So yeah, that is a bit of a bummer. Let's get this out of here and try not to mix all my parts up. Here's my new tube. I will put this back in there. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in here with the old tube in the bag, so that I know that I don't have a good tube in here that needs to be replaced. So otherwise, you end up with a bunch of random parts and you don't know what you've done. I really would like to have this be a little bit longer tube, but yeah, there's only so much that you can do. And but anyway, this should iron out the problem here. But yeah, it did not take very long for it to wreck that tube. I think I'm going to try to tap this a little bit straight. Let's see. Doesn't take much to straighten it out. That's a lot better. So I'll just go back with reassembly of this thing. I may look into seeing what other, because I think Old Coleman Parts now has another reproduction generator for the 236, and maybe I need to look into that to see if that's a little better design in terms of preventing the backflow or the reflux. And so for those of you who are interested in, the tip uses a 5/32 wrench, which is microscopic, but that is the size. So we're just going to get back to reassembly here. And again, with these things here, I always, on these style, so that's the 236s, the 242s, all the ones that kind of look like this, I always assemble them like this. I put the generator on first, and then I put the burner head on, because you have all sorts of access. Now, one thing I did completely dumb and wrong, collar. I don't think I can make this work, but let's try. Oh yeah, we'll get it on here, a little squeeze, off we go. Okay, so that's good. This away. Keep your workplace tidy, folks. Right. Okay, so we're basically just one wing nut and one ball nut away from a refire. And hopefully we will be in good shape here. So just try not to bang into the mantle, which is not too hard to do. Get that settled down nicely. That's why I love this design so much. When you compare it to the 220 and the 228, this is so brilliantly simple. You can do everything you need right down to the fount with essentially your fingers. You don't even need any tools. So we'll get these on here. And yes, my fount is well used. It is, this one was intended to be a user, and so I'm just taking some of this rough stuff off of the bale here real quick. And I've got apparently old mothers on here, so it's really dusty. But we just want to make it so it operates a little smoother. Anyway, this one was bought to be a user, and it definitely is. So just gonna make sure that I actually hit the hole. Okay, that feels like it. Get this screwed down for the top. Again, just enough to keep it from wiggling. Pressure and then light. All right. We'll listen for our spit. It's going to take a while because it's got to get fuel up in there. But these come up fast, so be prepared. With these bigger ones, they've got big orifices on them, and they will move the air out quickly. Really need to get like a matchstick lighter here instead of like going through my old matches, but oh well, I guess I might as well use these up first before I go on to getting them gas ones. Okay. Yeah, these big ones, you're always going to get a good bit of flame out of them when you first light them off, and maybe some smoke, but they come into their own here. There we go. Crank this all the way open now. Pop this around a couple of times. Yeah, and we're back to almost no flicker. Now these things are always they have a little bit of flicker when they first start up because it takes a lot to warm up everything that's in here, and you know, everything is at about 50 degrees. So we got to get all that metal warmed up. We also got to get a little bit more pressure in here because that mixing chamber is cold, comparatively speaking. So it's got to get plenty hot, and we got to get enough pressure in here. Okay, that looks good. Very, very faint flicker to it. Before it was like woo, 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 really pulsing really bad, and it was really distracting. This is just a little bit of flicker, and this is going to clear up once it runs for a few minutes and everything gets nice and hot. We're getting there. As you can see, the top of this is starting to turn more of a, almost turning black. These things run so hot. I mean, you'll see it happen on like the red lanterns and stuff like that. The top will turn burgundy because the porcelain gets darker when it gets hot. But these get almost black, they get so hot. And that's why you see a lot of these, that it's very rare that you see good porcelain on these, because it does get so very hot, and if it's outside and it ever gets rained on, the rain hits it and the porcelain just basically explodes. It just can't handle the cold rain on the extremely hot surface. These surfaces here may get, well, I've heard some people say they measure around 900 degrees inside here, so I would not be surprised to see 700 degrees or something like that on the surface, enough to like seriously to fry you if you happen to be so unfortunate to touch it. But anyway, you can see right now it's simmered down a whole lot, actually. Very clean, no sound of reflux or chugging or anything like that in there. And all it was that broken cardboard tube, and then you're good to go. So yeah, if you have a 236 that has that kind of problem with it kind of pulsing, or if you have any lantern that is chugging, or some people call it slurping, or whatever it is, it's more than likely that you are missing some packing in your generator. And you don't have to put up with that sound, and you don't have to put up with the pulsing of the light. It should be nice and straight and clean like this. And it's really nothing more than a cardboard tube in there that helps restrict the pressure of that vaporizing fuel from going back down into the tank and starting to oscillate inside there. So that is it for this one. This is a nice and quick and short and sweet one. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And yeah, if you get a chance to get a 236, boy, get one. They're so awesome. It is a great big Petromax sized 500 candle power mantle. I mean, you can see how big that thing is. It's like the size of a golf ball in there, and it's utterly blinding. I'm sitting up here above it, so I'm not getting hit in the eyes with it too much. But if you get a chance to get one, because they're awesome. They light easy. They throw incredible amounts of light. And I really, really like them. And of course, you can see how easy they are to work on. But anyway, that is it for this video. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep them lit.